Who are you today?
Today I'm Patrick Price, also known as Hecz, just small town North Carolina guy that had a love for video games early on. I credit my brother for kind of what started my video game competition, because me and my brother early on, obviously both really involved in sports. That was my whole family's focus early on with growing up. But we got into sports games back in the day with a lot of home run derbies, a lot of stuff like that. And he's 6 years older than me, so when we were playing,
he used to whoop that ass.
He did early on, and then he saw the shift, and then when I saw that shift, it carried on to other games and more and more and more, and got to Call of Duty finally, and introduced to game battles, and that kind of just spiraled into what I am today. But I just pursuing a career in gaming as of right now, competing, and like you said in the beginning, man, like winning is number one priority for me. It always has been, always will be. But
yeah. I think you missed the fact that you are, like, in my opinion, the best talent scout ever in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
How do you, what goes into determining, how do you see it, right? Because you saw it in Scump, right? You saw it in...
There's a lot of players.
Yeah.
I don't like to take credit for players who they are now, but early on.
Yeah, you should though, because without the platform...
It was a bridge, for sure.
Yeah.
But, I think it's just like, with Call of Duty and competing and, there's certain players that you can kind of tell have aspects, and then there's certain players that have all aspects. And I think, like, when you're looking at someone like Scump back in Black Ops 1, one of the best shots in the game by far. In-game decision-making was phenomenal. And I think he just really understood, not necessarily then how to play as a team, but I think that's something that him getting me in Teep really helped him with.
Yeah.
He just knew how to play the best on the map. If you took all his teammates away, he was the best player on the map, right? Like, he was just going to play to be the best on the map, and that's just how it was. But Seth kind of just had it all. I mean, there's a lot of players that when you're looking at, like, what you're looking for in a teammate, you want to kind of design attributes that are, or not design, you want to find attributes that are going to benefit everyone else. I think that's something I was really good at with building teams. Like when we picked up Crim, like, it kind of fit into the game that me and Teep wanted to play, right? I think that's something me and Teep really got. That's one of our best things we got along with, was how to play Call of Duty, how to play as a team, and finding teammates that understood that and wanted to buy into that style. I don't know, man. I think it comes down to just being involved so long that I know I've seen so many different players, so many different personalities and styles of play that I can kind of notice it early and see what people's strengths are.
Yeah.
And I think people developing those strengths as well as adding on the things they don't know about, I think that's something I've had a good job of helping with throughout the years.
Being involved in Call of Duty since 2005, still to this day, I always say that that anybody can shoot as straight as anybody else.
Right.
What makes the pro is like everything else, which is like knowing the spawns, and not just knowing the spawns because of where you're aiming, but because of where the four arrows are aiming, and then what sort of, like, just all those details.
Split-second decision-making is huge. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Like, being able to, like, for example, seeing your teammate spawn out on your mini-map instantly and knowing to turn before your teammate says anything and there's going to be a guy behind you. That's something that, like, not a lot of players do that. Being able to communicate while you're in a gunfight instead of after.
Yeah.
I don't remember if you remember, there was like a little troll post I made in 2014. It was like a notepad.
Yeah, I remember it.
And it, like, kind of went viral in our community for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was serious with, like, some of those points, but some of it was just kind of like obvious points that need to be reiterated.
Yeah.
Because a lot of players still just, like, I don't know if it was a laziness factor in game or just, like, not trying to think 2 steps ahead and make sure you have everything covered. But something like that, like, it got taken so seriously.
It did.
That, like...
Still to this day, I use it with Old Men of Optic. Talk while you're shooting.
Right. And that's something that all the Halo players were really good with, because that was like, if you didn't talk while you shot in Halo, you sucked, right? Like, and there was a lot of players early on in Call of Duty that just didn't do it, right? You called out, hey, he's here after you're dead. And that's just kind of habit.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of players have an issue with breaking bad habits.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that me personally have worked on too throughout the years, but breaking bad habits really kind of can just change how you're perceived as a player and a teammate.
It's got to be the most incredibly tough thing to do, communicating where someone you're shooting at is, while having the pressure of maybe being down 50 points, knowing that if you don't get this kill or somebody doesn't get this kill, then that's the game.
Yeah.
So like the amount of stuff that makes a professional is all those little things. Not how good, because I come across people and people send me, you know, clips of them like snapping, like, but I'm like, that has like nothing to do with what a professional is. And unless you're directly involved in this sort of world, you'll never truly understand like what it's like. Because even though I've been playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2, there will never be a chance in hell where I can fully understand what makes you guys you guys.
Yeah.
And that's something that everybody needs to like come to terms with, because you know, if you want to be a professional player, shooting straight is not just isn't it. Anybody
Right.
can shoot straight. It's those tiny little shits that make you everything
There's a lot involved.
everything else.